Look, this is the basic communication process. Basically starting with a message. Now, knowing how you construct your message, what's going to determine that is, to a large degree, your behavioural style. What information you're actually going to put into that message. Always keeping in mind that when we're starting with a message and we're going to actually transmit it to the person at the end of the line, what are we hoping for? What are we aiming to achieve? What do we want at the end of it? Yeah, a shared level of understanding, right? Okay, so in terms of an outcome, and most people who are not overly effective with their communication will just start talking without actually going, hang on, what is the actual outcome that I'm looking for here? I mean, what could your outcome be? If you're coaching your team, what could your possible outcome be when you actually start communicating to them? Okay, it might be a specific behavioural change with one player. What might be the whole team understanding a specific play that you want them to get their head around. What else? So there's that, if you like, there is the goals that you have in terms of perhaps might be a behavioural change. Okay, but a very, very tangible goal in terms of doing something different. But what is the other goal that you might be looking to achieve? What else is there? I mean, is it possible for you to pitch your message in such a way that, yes, I understand it, but I'm not happy about the way that you told me. I'll do it, but I'm not happy about it. Or could it be the fact that you told me in such a way that now I don't feel very comfortable or good about myself? Okay? And so one of the other goals, therefore, has to be always considering the impact that your delivery of your message and the message that you deliver is going to impact an athlete's esteem or their level of confidence. What do you think? Okay, you start with your message, you've worked out what you need to say to the player. What things did you consider in working out that message? Absolutely you did. You thought, okay, this guy's an S. I need to say it in this way. All right. There are some great examples in that book I referred to before, Cracking the Code, and specifically how to pitch a message. Okay, you transmit it. What things should we be aware of when we're transmitting a message? What's that? Okay, yeah, the content, the amount of content. Maybe you need to actually break it down. Maybe you need to visual. Maybe you need to auditory. Maybe you actually need to walk them through it. Okay, you also need to consider, is there anything which is going to perhaps get in the way of you getting that message across in a quality way? So are there any barriers to communication, such as well, yeah, body language is a barrier. Yeah, it could be. We'll chat about that in a moment before you do this activity. Yeah, just the noise in the environment. Okay, these are all potential barriers. From an athlete's perspective, what if they're just really fatigued and tired? That's a massive barrier. Okay. You encode it, you transmit it, you send it, it's received by the other person. How do you know if it's been received the way that you intended it to be sent? Yeah, based on their response. So, a great quote in regard to communication is, it states that communication is the response you get. What does that mean? Yeah, so obviously if the response is, what do you do? If you're not getting the response that you want, okay, you have to change what? Yep, you may have to change the delivery, but basically you've got to change what you're doing, right? You know, that's what we were chatting about before. That was a good example of that. So you've got to change what you're doing, because what can't you change? You actually can't change them. Okay, you can't change them. Okay, and how they decode it. You know? So if you ask them, okay, so tell me what you heard just quickly. Key things, what do we need to do? First one, this, next one. Great, okay, we're on the same page. Take a moment to clarify, to actually go through that